Hi, my name is Kyra Buchanan. I am an interdisciplinary studies major, and my three concentrations are biology, Christian studies, and human services. The reason I chose those, even though I'm going into teaching, are because I love science, and I knew that I probably wanted to teach science. And so I chose that and got to learn about how living organisms work, how they function inside and out. In human services, I learned about how to interact with people of all different backgrounds, of all different abilities, of all different health statuses, which will be really, really useful in a teaching career, because I'll be able to interact with tons of different types of children, no matter their background, and I'll be able to interact with them ethically, as well as their families. I even learned certain things like about specific cultures and who to address first in specific cultures. So, if a Chinese family came to me, like, I would always address the man first. Things like that you would never know unless you were taught. So that is really useful. Not to mention, you just learn all about like ethics and how to hold really high standards for yourself, especially when you're in the care of children. I feel like you really need those like strict rules of like, this is how you hold yourself to be safe and accountable for like the safety of the children. And then in Christian studies, I learned about Christianity and God, his character, his love for us, his plan for us, his promises. And my plan is not only to be a teacher, but to be a private school teacher at a Christian school. And that's because of my Christian faith. I want to be able to bring that into the classroom and reference God, nonchalantly, without having to worry about repercussions like I would in a public school setting. And I understand why the public schools, disallow that. I understand their thinking through it, and, the trying to consider all different religions and backgrounds. And I think that that's, great in some ways, and also I think it can be difficult when you're actually not allowed to speak about Jesus. So I think there is some hypocrisy there as well with that rule. And yeah, so that's how my concentrations kind of play into my career choice. And, I would say also that the thing that qualifies me most for a teaching job is my love for children and my passion for the way that children develop and helping them develop in a healthy way. And I would say like my biggest strength that I will bring to the classroom is not my knowledge that I learned in school even, but my life experiences and my empathy toward those who are suffering and sinning. And my hope is that I can reflect God to my students, and not just by being moral and good, but by being gracious, engaged, loving, seeing past their suffering and their sins straight to their heart, and letting them be seen, maybe for the first time, depending on their situation at home, and just to be able to, to love on them in an appropriate but meaningful way that gives them confidence and also a safe place to learn. Kids cannot learn if they do not feel safe. There's neuroscience to back that up now, and so I will shout it from the rooftops. Kids cannot learn unless they feel safe, nor can adults, actually. So yeah, my goal is to create a safe space for kids to learn about science or math or literature or whatever I'm teaching, and God.